Today is going to be my video on what I currently have inked up in my fountain pens for the month of June. I usually have about 7 pens inked up at all times, and so I like to keep them in this really nice leather pen holder, is probably the best way to put it, from Galen Leather. I do have a discount for them if you want 5% off. It is in the description below, but I really like how it showcases the pens, and then it also has little card slots on the side over here to hold my brass B and then my little swatch cards. The notebook that I use is just a 𝗦𝗃𝗍𝗃 A5 standard notebook. Well, this one's not the standard, this one's the 𝗬𝗂𝗃𝗃, but its insides are basically the same as the standard. And I am just going to flip to a new page here. So I like to decorate my pages with just some simple washi tape. This is just gold grid washi tape that I think I got from Jet Pens. Could have been Stationery Pal. Grid washi is pretty easy to find nowadays. And I just have it in a Coffee Monsterz Co. dispenser, but you can use any tape dispenser if you wanted to use one. And then this is the fountain pen, Coffee Monsterz Co. fountain pen doodles, which was a collaboration with Wonder Pens, which is located in Canada. And I absolutely love this washi. I have a couple of rolls just because I really like the way it looks in all of my ink journals, because it's so many different colors, but it's still really neutral, and so whatever colors I pick seem to pick up whatever color are in the washi. I then like to label the top with what I'm going to be putting on which side. So usually on the right side I do the currently inked. If y'all hear that bird, they're definitely having the time of their life up there. And then on the bottom, I like to put my progress and review. And if you watched my May progress report, I'll link it up in the cards if you didn't, but you'll know what I do on this side. All right, and then I'm just going to take another color. This one's just purple or lavender, don't really know what, lilac, whatever color you want to call this. And I'm just going to kind of border the outside of the pages because I like the way it looks when it's nice and detailed. For the first pen that I have inked up, this is a Sailor 1911 Compass in the transparent olive. And it is currently inked up with Monteverde Olivine. And this is in a medium fine nib. And this is what the swatch card looks like. It has a little bit of a black shading to it, so I'm interested to see how it does in a medium fine nib. The next pen I have is my Esterbrook Estie in Tortoise. And this has a fine nib, and it is currently inked with Robert Oster Coffee Crema. Or Cafe Crema. This is my newest pen, and I just have to say that I am absolutely loving it. And this is what the swatch looks like. It does have a little bit of that kind of black sheen to it. And the Esterbrook Fine is definitely more of a medium to me. And so I'm really happy that it's going to be able to showcase the shading properties and the sheen in the Robert Oster ink. Next we have a Pilot Kakuno in a fine nib, and this has a Vanness exclusive in it. It has Robert Oster Hickory Aflame. It is a shimmer ink, so I'm just going to roll my pen through my hands really quick just to kind of activate that shimmer. And I wasn't sure about putting a shimmer ink in a fine nibbed pen yet, but since this is my cheapest pen, Kakunos usually go for about like $12. I was like, I'm gonna give it a try and see how it performs in a fine nib, because usually I like to put my shimmer inks in more of like a broad to medium or even a stub, but we'll see how this one does. And this is what the swatch looks like. I really hope that I can get some of that nice coppery shimmer, but we will see how it turns out. The next pen I have is a Ferris wheel press Carousel in the, I think, vanilla. I think it's vanilla. I'm gonna put vanilla. And it is inked up with my lightest ink, which is the Ferris wheel press ink called Little Robinia. And this does have a medium nib, so I was hoping I would be able to read, like the legibility would be much better. But I'm not impressed so far, and I don't know if I'm gonna keep this pen inked with this ink. As you can see, it is very, very light, but in a broader nib, this is what it looks like. So I was hoping maybe the medium would still showcase the blue shading that it has, but I'm not seeing it so far. So we'll see how this turns out at the end of the month, but we may be changing out the ink in this pen. The next pen I have inked up is my Lamy Safari in cream, and it is currently inked with Lamy Mango. And I made a boo-boo when I inked this pen. I didn't clean the pen well enough, and unfortunately the sample that I had of Lamy Mango got contaminated. So this is actually not what this color is supposed to look like. So I'll show you what the swatch looks like in a second. So this is what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to be more of an orangey yellow, and my guess is the blue ink that I had in this pen before still resided somewhat slightly, and it ended up contaminating my sample and also kind of ruining my swatch. But I'm still going to write with it. I don't think it's going to be a problem. It's still writing perfectly fine, and if anything, I created a new color, which I've done before. I just am kind of disappointed that it didn't get to be this nice orangey yellow color. I did order a new sample though, so don't worry. I will have a Lamy mango yet. The next pen I have is my Kaweco Sport in Smooth Sage, and this is currently inked up with my new favorite black ink. It is a shimmer ink, and it is Atlas Iron Ore by Ferris Press, which is a exclusive to Atlas. And I do have a discount 10% off if you're interested. It is Danielle 10, and you can save 10% off on most items. It does have some exclusions like 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and Penlux, I think, but still a really good deal. And this is in a broad nib. And I love how bold it is with this black shimmery ink. And this is what the swatch looks like. As you can see, it has that beautiful kind of silver shimmer and a red sheen. I really am enjoying this ink for sure. And the last pen I have inked is my Pilot Vanishing Point Decimo in the pearl white body with an 18 karat fine nib. This is the only 18 karat gold nib that I own. I definitely had a splurge moment when I bought this pen, and I have been very happy with it. I absolutely love the pearlescent body, and the size of this versus the original Vanishing Point or the capless is much better in my hands, I think, just because it is a little bit smaller in the barrel. And I currently have this inked up with the Pilot Iroshizuku Tusyu Kusa. Which is actually a discontinued ink now. But I really like the kind of soft blue that it has, which is one of my favorite colors to use in the month of June because it's more of like springy / summery at this point, and it's just a nice light blue. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. This is my currently inked for the month of June. I'm definitely excited to see if the Kakuno will show any of that shimmer from the Vanness exclusive Hickory Aflame. And then I'm also hoping that my Lamy mango sample that's contaminated isn't going to be anything too terrible and that it will still be a good writer. But I will let you guys know at the end of the month when I do my progress report. If you're interested in more content from me, I do have an Instagram. I will leave my handle on the screen. And again, I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.